why Indians in particular feel this way. And
Mhm.
it was fascinating. Play it.
I mean,
Number
the
three.
Indian community loves Trump. I don't have the problems with him that a lot of people in America have.
Why is that?
Well, first of all our politicians are crooked back home. So that just seems to be a job requirement. And they're like, of course he's a criminal. They all are. Like, nobody who's not a criminal wants to do this job.
Right.
Ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.
So then I came across this clip from a woman from India because the Ramaswamis and the Kash Patels and all the they think they're in.
Yeah.
They think they're in. And I didn't understand it because I was having a problem understanding, like, how do you not think that you think you're different? I'm not like those other people. I'm a special H1. Remember the H1B visa people, and
I'm here on a genius visa. I'm different.
yeah, I'm different. Okay, so this comedian, her name is Zarna Garg. She was having a conversation with her, Zarna Garg and her daughter, Zoya Garg, were having a conversation with Joanna Coles from the Daily Beast on why Indians in particular feel this way. And it was fascinating. Play it. Number
The
three.
Indian community loves Trump. I don't have the problems with him that a lot of people in America have.
Why is that?
Well, first of all our politicians are crooked back home. So that just seems to be a job requirement. And they're like, of course he's a criminal. They all are. Like, nobody who's not a criminal wants to do this job.
Right. Interesting.
So
Okay.
so we're kind of comfortable with that. Like, of course he's cheated on his wife. They all do. We don't even consider any of those issues. Now, when it comes to immigration, Indian people by and large are legal immigrants in America, which means it was years of waiting, years of applying paperwork, hundreds and thousands of verifications and submit this and submit that. So the whole illegal immigration thing was something that we never really got on board with. We did not understand what was happening during the Biden administration. We could not understand why they were not taking this seriously. Ask any Indian person. We have relatives who've been waiting 15 years in line because that's the right thing to do. And then yet it felt like anybody who was breaking the law was getting rewarded. I don't think he should be doing things the way he's doing them. I have a problem with his execution, but a lot of the problems that he has highlighted are real problems.
It's wild.
So I got it, right?
Yeah.
And so you said something about being black in America and knowing that the stove is hot. And I guess I am in a bubble in that way because it's like, we've studied enough history. We've lived enough history. We got grandparents who enough to know what this really is. People coming here from places where corruption is, where violence is, where a woman could get raped on a bus, gang raped on a bus, and there's no recourse. Babies can be raped. Like so women being touched. This is normal. As a matter of fact, it's better here, And then you've come here for a better life and you've done it the right way and you have relatives that are waiting 10 years. So then here comes these people who walked in flip-flops 1,100 miles and they snuck in the country because somehow they're horrible people and we're better people. And so we're better people.
We went to college.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I said, wow. Okay, so so this conversation, and it's the narrative though, Drew, because it's the same language that your housekeeper, that this guy in the store, it's the same. So they're reading from the same playbook, and it's a playbook. It's a playbook
with clear-cut language, with clear-cut talking points, with clear-cut responses and reactions to people who don't believe you. Right? I will never forget, Karen, that I was in a class in business school, top 20 business school, and it was a very diverse cohort of people. Right? And I said something about what this company should do, and my coworker, my classmate said, from Venezuela. Keep that in mind. She said, that is a very Western North America American response. She was like, in other parts of the world, we don't do it that way. The negotiation isn't done. It's after, just because the contract is signed. And so then I said something to her to counter that. And she said to me later that all of the good things that had happened when they had a dictator, even though he had murdered people and he had killed people and stuff like that, he said dictators get stuff done fast. And depending upon what you want done,
Yo,
go get him.
and,
Get him,
and
big boy.
so that's true. That's a fact.
That is a fact, right? Like, that's not me. That's not racist. That's not xenophobic.
No,
That is
that's a
something that
fact.
someone actually said to me, but is actually historically true for her and her history. And what I know for sure is that as a Black man living in America with Black mama, Black daddy, Black grandparents, and Black great grandparents, is that never works out for the least of these.
And by least, it's the hierarchy in society. And what's wild about that construct is that in the hierarchy, Black people are not actually on the bottom.
Yeah, we're not.
Well, Black people are the soil in which all things get planted, in which all things bloom and grow.
Yeah.
And from that vantage point of the soil, we get to see all of the things. We are the nutrients and the nourishment to the system.
Mm-hmm.
The system doesn't thrive. And it's interesting, because Blackness, like whiteness, made up construct. And it expanded and contracted based on what the power structure needed for us to. And now we're engaged in these culture wars that are absolutely counterproductive. And I want to talk about that with you today. I pulled a couple of clips from Jeffrey Sachs, an economist, who was talking about Africa in such a fascinating way. I was like, how are they letting him talk about this? So I want to play them these clips on the air. But I'm sitting here like, how do we combat? Because again, if you are convinced that you're right, and I'm even talking to myself, when do you arrive at, I might be wrong? Like, how is that, is that conditioning? Like, can we teach it to children at a young age? Like, what do we do in a world where so many people are convinced that they're correct and they are absolutely wrong, but not just wrong? Their way of thinking and voting and moving is detrimental to the health and welfare of a whole lot of people. And they don't care.
Including their own people and their own families and their own lives. Including them. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's so wild that you say that too, Karen, because there's in school, typically, you are learning so that you can get either one or two things. You either getting confirmation or you're getting course correction. And we used to be, most of us, of any level of intelligence, we used to be 100% open to both. We might not like being wrong, but if somebody gave us the facts, right, we were open to accepting course correction. We are now telling people anyone who gives you course correction is part of a cabal that is really trying to lead you astray, or they're trying to trick you or hoodwink you in some way, shape, or form, right? And I think that part of why people want to do away with the Department of Education, part of the reason why, there's all these things to let's make people dumber and poorer and more desperate and take their options away, is so that they can be easily radicalized when they see right in front of their faces that this is not for me, right? And okay, but that person looks like me, and I'm supposed to say this when somebody says that. Rebuttal back to me, because that's what my cousin said. That's what my dad said. That's what they said in church on Sunday, right? So all of the people in authority, or that's what I heard on the podcast.
Or they said in this Reddit, or in this Reddit
thread,
chat,
this podcast,
or I did my research on YouTube. 866-801-8255. I'm going to play and shout out to the YouTube people. Hello to you. What's up, Nubians as well.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back, and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will